Welcome to the channel, everybody. Now today I've got a small news and update video for you all, but instead of it just being the usual, today we're going to go through it practically so you can actually see all these points in person. I thought it'd be a bit easier than me just sitting there talking, and also a bit more interesting for you guys. So what we're going to do today is go through a few changes in the quality of life patch notes that came out a few days ago. So, first of all, we're going to start off with bread, cheeseburgers, you know, food stuff. So, with bread is now been changed, so it only takes 10 minutes to cook. So, we can turn this on. Don't want to turn that on though. We want to turn this on. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is, we want to cook food, but we're going to have a cake cookbook on us to be able to make bread. What we want to do is go down to the oven here, go into cakes, come down to bread, and then we need all these items, which luckily I've stored here for us. So we'll just stick these in quickly. So we want flour, we want that, we want some milk, we want some water, some sugar, and some of this. So we'll just fill this up quickly, and then we'll leave this to cook. As I said, it's been changed now, so it only takes 10 minutes. And then once we've cooked this, we'll move on to our next point of burgers. So all this here, where's the salt gone? There it is. Put that in there. So as you can see here, it says 24 minutes, but this is actually 10 minutes in real time. So this will take 10 minutes to cook. So we'll leave that in there. While that's in there, we'll move on to another point of rags. So we can now use different types of alcohol for wounds. Strong alcohol. Obviously, we've got the isopropyl alcohol. We were always able to use this to make disinfected rags or to clean our wounds. Okay. So what we want to do now, close this down. So as we can see, if we put this here, we right click on a rag, we can see disinfect. Disinfect that rag, that then turns into a antiseptic rag. Okay, they've now changed it so you can actually use different types of alcohol to do this. As you can see here, disinfect. This is with the vodka, and then we have whiskey. Whiskey doesn't work. Okay, and then we have tequila. Tequila doesn't work. Okay. And then we have absinthe, which does work. Okay, so with whiskey and tequila, you can't actually use these to make these bandages. Okay, these antiseptic bandages. To basically go through the points, these 3 alcohol items, as in the isopropyl, the vodka, and the absinthe, you can use to make these rags. Okay, you can also use them to treat your wounds. With these two, I believe you can pour them on your wounds, but you can't make these rags out of them. Okay? That's a good point to make while we're here in the cooking panel. So, when we're cooking something in this now, if we come out of this panel, say like this, before it used to get rid of all your ingredients and put them back out into your inventory. Now it doesn't. So if you put certain items into here, they will stay there if you come out into a different tab and go back into it. Okay? Portable fridges, as you can see here, these fridges, they will decay within 14 days if they are not repaired. So they work now the same as all of your base building elements. So if you build a base up and you don't repair any of it for 14 days, what happens is it will just disappear basically. It will destroy itself. Okay? The same now applies to these fridges. So if you don't repair these fridges inside your base, they will then decay after 14 days. So, moving on to our next point. Now we have our bread. Burgers, as in cheeseburgers and plain burgers, now only take 1 piece of bread to make 1 burger. So instead of it using this whole 8 out of 8 piece of bread, we'll only use 1 out of 8 now to make 1 burger. Okay, so just show you quickly while we're here. Stick these on. Right, so to create our burgers, we need to go into the pan, barbecue grill, grilled meats, cheeseburger. As you can see here, all of our items are here. So we go into our fridge, we'll take our meat out, we'll put that in there. Alright. Oh no, we've come out of that tab. But as I said just a minute ago, our items are still here now. Which is good, because it means it's not going to be getting rid of all these things. And where did our bread just go? Ah, there it is. Pop that in here so we don't lose it. So if we pop that into there, and then grab some cheese out of the fridge, salt, pepper, tomato, mayo. So, got our meat, got our bread, got our salt, got our pepper, our ketchup, and our mayo. And then the cheese. Where did the cheese go? Either way, we'll just take this one out of here and pop that into there. And we'll make that. And as you can see here now, we've only used the one piece. So we can make 8 burgers out of this one piece here, okay? Which is good for us, because that means we can then make a normal burger. You know, those plain Janes out there, if you like just a plain burger. Happy days, there's a plain burger here for you. And what we'll do while we're waiting for this to cook... Is that not mayonnaise there? Ah, it's mustard. Oh, we don't have any mustard, so we'll just do that. That's fine. So we'll leave them to cook, and what we'll do, as they're going to take a few minutes to do that, we'll pop outside quickly. Just want to show you something, because we light this up. Obviously you can use just a standard fire to cook with, okay? So if you hit F to cook on this, it comes up with skewers. So we have vegetable skewers, mixed skewers, and meat skewers. Now another thing that they've changed is you can now use any type of meat for skewers, okay? So even if it comes to like chicken meat, we can put that in there, okay? Even though it's a steak, chicken meat, rabbit meat. If we were still on the skewer, we can use rabbit meat also for it now, okay? So, doesn't matter what type of meat you have, they'll all work in here now, alright? So, that's another little good thing for you. If you were wondering, we'll just put this on, we've got no salt on us. So, as you can see as well, the skewer is just made for you. You no longer have to get a piece of meat, go and make a stick, and then put the meat on the stick. The cooking tab does all that for you now, okay? So again, we can leave that. That'll take a while to cook. Come back in here. Check on our burgers. Nice. So you can cook multiple things on multiple appliances at one time. Obviously, because we've just been in here, we now have this section here in utility spots. If we were to walk outside here to this one and just look in cooking, it doesn't show. You have to look at it, press F for cook food, and then it will show that utility spot there, okay? So if you're cooking on multiple utilities at once, like a fireplace and a hob, or if you've got 2 or 3 fireplaces going, you're going to need to select them to see that specific item on that specific utility, okay? So if you're getting confused of, where's my food, I can't find it, just walk up to the appliance you're cooking on, press F, and then it'll bring up that utility spot for that appliance, okay? Just a little tip there, because I got caught out a few days ago when I was cooking on 2 different appliances. Like, for the life of me, I could not figure out how to find this utility spot on that certain appliance again, and yeah. So, I just thought I'd point that out for anyone else who might have that issue as well, just to help you guys out. Other than that, snowballs you can now eat again, okay? So snowballs are a good source of liquid, of water, when you're up in the north areas. So you can search for rocks and then snowballs will appear. Now after the update, it was said that you couldn't eat snowballs again. This was just due to a bug. They have now fixed this, so if you're up in the north and you need some water, just search for rocks and then eat some snowballs, and your water stat will go up from that, okay? We'll just grab this off here in a second. What we want to do, we're just going to store these on the floor a second. Okay, so we no longer have cookbooks on us. Perfectly cooked. Okay, So what we're going to do, I'm going to head out here. This is still cooking. And as you can see, we've got no cookbooks on us now, okay? So we go to cooking, we look at cakes and bread. As you can see here, even though we haven't got the cookbook on us, because we perfectly cooked an item, it now stays there. We perfectly cooked these 2 burgers as well, so it now commits it to our memory. See, when 0.85 come out, I believed that you had to have the cookbooks on you at all times, but I've recently found out, thanks to a comment and doing a little bit more research myself, that, yeah, if you perfectly cook an item, it will put it in your memory bank. So you will not need the cookbook on you to then recook those items, okay? Which is good news, because you don't have to carry those bloody god-awful books around with you all the time anymore. I've been running this generator the whole time I've been recording this video. And I've currently been recording for 25 minutes. And we've not even used 1% of our gasoline out of our electric generator. And that's been powering 1, 2, 3 utilities. Okay? Okay, 2 utilities, sorry. That fridge isn't on. I thought I turned it on, but I didn't. Right, so over 25 minutes we've used 1%, using 2 utilities. If you weren't using this and you were just using your fridge, generally, these new generators are going to last a long time. Okay? I haven't fully tested, or I haven't ran one for days on end yet to fully test how long they actually run for. But through word of mouth and from what I've seen online, generally it's about 3 days. You get a full tank out of a big generator. So these little generators, maybe a day and a half, 2 days. But as you can see, we're at 1% and it's been 25 minutes near enough on the dot. The good thing is they've changed them, so the fuel consumption on them now is so much lower that you don't have to worry about if you're logging off for a day or two and you forget about your fridge and you come back, everything's still going to be fine. That should still be running, and even if it's not, the things in your fridge should still be at a half decent durability here still. So don't worry about too much if you're obviously running this all the time. Obviously you will need gasoline for these, so you will need to fill it up with fuel. So a gas trip with a big gasoline canister, filling one of these up, I mean one full gasoline canister will last you a week. Should last you about a week, I would assume. So one more thing to go over here, and that's to do with vehicles. Now, with vehicles, these lovely, lovely things, let's just push it out of the garage so we get a bit more space to work with here. So, vehicles now. You no longer need an engineering skill to be able to take things off and on of a vehicle. The only thing you need for this now is a car jack if you want to take the wheels off. Okay? So, you still need to service a vehicle with a car jack to take certain items off, but the main things, especially under the engine, these no longer need an engineering skill to remove or replace. Okay? So, I'll show you quickly in here. My engineering skill is at 8 XP, no skill. Okay? So, not even basic. Let's just open this up quickly. So, as you can see, we've got the engine. We've got the main things, like the battery, and as we can see here, remove car battery. Hey presto, car battery is out. Okay. Where is... There it is. So, there's the alternator as well. Pull that out. Now you have an alternator. We can take the trunk off, we can take the doors off. But as you can see, we can't take the wheels off. Okay, so you're going to have a car jack to be able to remove wheels still. Okay. But as you can see, I don't need a repair kit, or an engineering skill to do this. Okay? A repair kit, as you can see, I haven't got a repair kit on me. There's no repair kits on the floor here. The repair kit's only needed now to repair the damage. Okay? So, the new damage for vehicles should be coming in soon. Okay? They are working on it at the moment, so your vehicles will then start taking damage from players, from other things. Will then have, you'll then be able to say run down puppets again when the damage comes back on the vehicles. Once this damage has been sorted, this mechanic for it, they will then bring back an aeroplane. Okay, the only reason they're not doing it yet, and I know so many people want the aeroplanes back, and I understand why, but from the developer's point of view, it's they don't want to create any more exploits. Obviously, if you've got an aeroplane that has no damage to it, you can nosedive that into someone's base. You know, you can do so much stuff with that exploit-wise that it's just not worth the backlash from it. Okay, so they've taken a decision to get this damage for vehicles done first, the mechanic for it. And then once they've done that, they'll apply that to the planes, and then we'll get one of the planes back. Okay? Once the plane's back, we then should start slowly seeing other vehicles coming back in. Okay? The main thing, I think, that's stopping most of these vehicles coming back at the moment, again, is this damage mechanic. Okay? So once that's sorted, we should see a steady sort of influx of vehicles again. Bitch. I want to record here. Shut the fuck up. So, on to our next point. Hazmat lockers. They have now been fitted with an easier lock. Okay? So, these should be easier to get into now. And they are. They're basically world locks that you find on the lockers in the armories now. Alright? So, a lot easier to get in these things now. Okay? So you shouldn't have an issue finding a hazmat suit or getting a hazmat suit now to be able to get up into the nuclear areas. Alright? Nice and easy for everyone. Just to show you that these lockers, as you can see, exactly the same lock now. Whereas before, I believe they were silver locks, if I'm not mistaken. But they're just as easy now to do these than they are the armory than it is to do the hazmat suits. Alright. Nice and easy now. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so moving on to our next point. You can now create sewing kits out of not only thread, but any type of fishing line. Okay? So if you find fishing line now, but you're not a fisherman or you don't like fishing, don't worry, keep it on you anyway because you can make sewing kits out of it. Alright, so we've got some fishing line on us. So we'll just make some of this quickly. As you can see, bit of fishing line, bone needle. Lovely job. Alright. So, this is the reactor room. As you see, loads of lockers. We can pick lock. We can also force unlock these now. So before, you couldn't force unlock anything in here. As you can see, we can now force unlock these uranium, the depleted uranium crates. So, the devs have made it a lot easier, not only to find hazmat suits and hazmat stuff to get to these locations and the new POI location, but they've also made it a lot easier to get stuff from the nuclear site. Okay? And as you can see, they're world locks on these now. So if you really wanted to, obviously these aren't, these are still silvers, but you can force unlock these now. So If you don't feel like you've got a good skill in pick locking, obviously you can come up here now and just force unlock these. And as you can see, I've ran out of lockpicks now. So I'd be pretty screwed if I've come all the way up here and I don't have any more lockpicks. But bring a couple of these with me, I can at least force unlock these still. Voila. And there you have it. Some depleted uranium. Now obviously, you need to put this in one of these. And as you can see, you can carry 8 bits in total. I believe these are worth about 2,500 each. Traders. But obviously you can use them also for crafting depleted uranium rounds and stuff. So they do have their uses. But obviously you can make a lot of money coming up here. And as I've said, the devs have made it a lot easier now to do so. This does include making it easier to reach this new POI as well. So if you do want these hazmat suits, B3 is a good area to go. Obviously B1 has hazmat lockers as well. There are a few others that have hazmat lockers. Generally B3, B1 are the ones I go to. So thank you for joining me today. It was just a few little tips, stuff from the patch notes that come out, and then important things that I thought people should know and be aware of, especially changes with your engineering skill and the vehicles, and another big one of these hazmat suits and lockers. So if you enjoyed it, give it a like, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads and the latest Scum news. Until next time, see ya.